No, I just don't get it defending now. It's like everyone wants to look cool and let's just be relaxed and take a chance.
Yeah, I agree, Gabby. It's getting on my nerves. Man United came from behind to win 2-1. Go on, United. Away to Victoria Pilsen in the Europa League last night. It's a result which leaves Amrim's side 7th in the league table, in a good position to qualify, of course, for the next round. But they fell behind. You might have heard it happen when it was live in our studio. I went absolutely nuts on 48 minutes after Onana gave the ball away and they scored from it. After the game, Man United boss Ruben Amorim spoke to media. He was pleased with how his side responded to going behind.
In this moment, in this context, the way that we give a goal to the opponent was important, not to give up. So that is a great message. Was not a great game, but we managed to do these good things that is good for when you are building a team, and I think we deserved the win.
I hate it. I absolutely hate
Ruben.
it. No. I like him. I hate teams playing it off the back. Goalkeepers are goalkeepers because they're not good footballers, right? Everyone wants to be a footballer. Very few people grow up wanting to goalkeeper. And then
I think you get a lot of kids now. They're not failed footballers. That's a bit
like Leon.
No, don't say about Leon. Great goalkeeper.
I'm saying that they're not outfield players because they're not necessarily as great with their feet as they are with their hands, right?
Maybe, yeah, but obviously they're goalkeepers because they're good at crosses and stopping shots and stuff. But this is the modern game. Like, I would prefer to, I understand it every now and then. The one I don't get, is when the defender stands in the 6-yard box and rolls it to the goalkeeper. I never understand that one.
No.
Like, I can understand if the goalkeeper gives it to the player, but it's just the way it's going at the minute. The emphasis, I just don't think at times, to do it every single time, I just don't think the risk outweighs the reward, because very rarely, and I've not seen it for a long time, them starting off an attack, and I know it's about overloads, I get that in the attacking areas, I fully understand that. But I just think the amount of, like Southampton, for instance, if you're a Southampton fan, surely you're saying the risk definitely does not warrant the reward because you're sitting in the bottom 3. So clearly you can't do it. So the manager surely's got to go, do you know what? Let's change it a little bit. Won't do it as much. I still want to, I've got my principles, but maybe we won't do it every single time. Maybe we'll try something else. But no, every single time they do it, teams are just waiting for them now, Southampton, press them, concede another goal, get beat again. And
also, I agree with him. He said, also, how often do we see a goalkeeper get the ball, pass to his centre-back? He sent it back, passes it back. He passes to a wing-back. Then he passes to a midfielder, then defender, then winger. Then number 10, and then, through ball, goal.
Rarely. Very rarely.
We don't see it. We don't see it that often.
No. But
right? And also, if you're going to lose the ball, where would you rather lose it?
Up high to the pitch.
Up high.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. I just can't stand that.
A lot of the time as well, they'll do it. They'll play out from the back and it looks nice. And then, or they'll get pressed in the right way and they'll go back to the goalkeeper and he'll just shell it anyway.
Yeah.
So, I understand. It looks great. It looks fantastic. And I know they're trying to create overloads. I understand that. But sometimes I just think, if you're a top side like Manchester City, I've got no issue with it. But the further you go down the league, like, there's a reason why Southampton are bottom.
But it's not just Premier League, right?
No, you keep going down to Championship. But my point is if something's not working and you keep conceding a lot of chances and a lot of goals by doing that, and you continue to do it, there's something completely wrong. There's something not right there.
Just explain to people that perhaps don't know, when you say overload, this is all to do with the press, right?
Yeah, trying to create 2v1s in certain areas.
So just explain it. So it's when the opposing team are pushing up high to get it.
And if you can somehow beat the press, which is bypass their, say they press with 5, if you bypass the 5...
They've only got 5 outfield players left.
Exactly. So in theory, you should have an overload of players. You should outnumber the opposition with the amount of players that you've got in the right areas.
Now, on paper, that sounds, like a great plan.
Like Man City, teams like Liverpool, they can do that because they've got the players to do it. But not every single player. Just because you get to the Premier League, and I know I'm using Premier League as an example, but just because you get to the Premier League doesn't mean that you can do that. It happens so rarely. I mean, if I remember rightly, Fulham's goal against Arsenal a couple of weeks ago, that might have been beating the press, but that still was an unbelievable bit of movement from Raul Jimenez, and the finish was absolutely incredible. But
it is annoying, isn't it? Mm-hmm. There's just no need for it. Because you find yourself, like last night, you find yourself in a ridiculous position that doesn't need to have happened.
But that's the only one I can think of as an example where that's been start to finish.
Let's take calls in it. 03717222324. You said that teams play, of course, in the Championship in League 1 and 2.
And youth my academy.
Yeah. So your boy's 10.
Yeah, and they do it at academy level as well.
And what, they teach them how to play
Teach
out
them how
from
to play
the
out
back?
from the back, yeah.
And what do you make of that as a dad?
I don't mind it, right? But my only thing with that is, okay, you want to play in a certain way, and I get that. But at some point, you've got to also teach the kids as well that if it's not on, then they just clear their lines. Don't still try and force them to do it if it's not on.
How does the pressing team of a group of 10-year-olds work? Do they who wins that duel more often? The team playing out from the back or the team that are pressing?
A lot at that age, probably the team that's pressing. They might get their toe in it and it might go on for a throw on, but they'll stop what they're trying to do.
Yeah. Is Leon a fan of it? Leon the goalkeeper?
Yeah, he's good though.
He's
He's a good goalkeeper.
Okay.
Makes unbelievable.
Has he got a
saves.
weakness?
And do you know what's good about him? Leon?
Yeah.
He's one of these goalkeepers that catches everything. He's not one of these keepers that punches it, and when he can catch it, they punch it.
Right. Is he tall?
He's normal, like
No size for 10 years.
But I promise you, some of the saves he makes, different.
Is he going to be England goalkeeper?
He'll become pro. I know I'm putting a lot of pressure on him, but if he continues in this trajectory, I promise you, Andy.
Do you know his dad well? Leon's dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ross, great guy.
Yeah?
Yeah. Arsenal fans as well.
Okay. That's interesting. Let's speak to Josh. He's a Coventry fan. Hi, Josh.
Evening, lads. How you doing?
We're great. How are you?
Yeah, very good, thanks. Just want to say I totally agree with Darren, what he's saying that...
What about Leon the goalkeeper, the 10-year-old?
Well, I'm not sure about Leon, but definitely about playing out from the back.
Oh, right.
Because the young... I mean, I'm only 18 myself, but I think teaching the kids young how to play this style of football is important because I watch teams like Coventry City, my side, right? And I think how we've sort of got on the last couple of years is that sort of fluidity. And sort of that always starts from the keeper. And those teams get caught out, Onana last night and things like that. I think it's important because rather than sort of hoofing the ball clear the line all the time, that sort of creates that dynamic and it creates a style of play. And I think that's what differentiates the sides. I get it, Sunday League, you're not going to end up playing football like Man City, but I think it's important to get that dynamic going from the start. So I think that's the purpose of academies. If you look at what a Premier League academy is doing compared to a local non-league side, I think that's one of the main differences, and I think it's the style of play.
Josh, let me ask you, you're a Coventry fan, right?
Yeah, I am.
What's Frank Lampard doing?
Well, I went up the other week against Cardiff, and it's really frustrating because it was just sort of that sort of hoofball sort of thing. I think anyone at the game would say that, well, we just didn't really have that consistency, couldn't really string two passes together, mainly because the side Cardiff we were playing, we were just sort of poofing it up. I want to see Frank sort of do a bit more of that, what he did at Derby.
But do you think you've got the players that can play it out from the back, Josh?
You know, I think that's the issue. I don't think we have. I think Ben Wilson, our keeper, isn't really up to it. And we've got a few. I think the thing is, I saw something on Twitter earlier. They said if you buy players from League One, you'll end up in League One. I think that's right because we haven't got that sort of squad depth. And and I know you guys talk about Cov all the time at the minute, but it's it's another issue in itself. I don't think we have those players. But what the point I wanted to make was, I don't think we should be criticised for young lads sort of playing this style of play because that's sort of what defines the team. And that's the sort of coaching and teaching which sort of is the difference at these academies.
And do you know what as well? I think, and Josh, that's a really good point because I think also
Josh.
as well, because teams nowadays want to play that way, you've probably got a better chance if you are a goalkeeper, better with your feet, then maybe... See, the fundamentals of a goalkeeper used to be come for crosses, kick the ball out of the net, like shot stopping. But you have to be able to play with your feet. So you've probably got a better chance nowadays, probably. If you're better with your feet, but okay shot stopping and coming for crosses, you've probably got a better chance of making it to where you want to get to, rather than being outstanding catching and crossing and can't play with your feet.
Can I ask, right, and I know I might be going nuts here with this question, but back in the day when a goalkeeper could pick the ball up, right, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
We would see them walk towards the edge of their penalty area,
Go, boom,
bounce the ball twice and launch it with a massive kick, 3/4. Does that happen anymore?
I've not seen that. Maybe if the team's winning and everyone squeeze up to the halfway line, and even then though, I still think they probably roll it down a little bit and then clip it in there.
That's exactly what they do. They roll it. You're right.
And then clip it in there.
Why doesn't the keeper just absolutely launch it into the opposing just once, maybe once every 20 minutes? Just give it change things up.
So I remember playing with a goalkeeper. I know we got to go to a break called Kelvin Davis, right? And I always used to think he was the best I've ever seen with his feet.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because he could control it and pass and do what they do now. He used to be able to just drop the ball, even if it was a striker 5 yards from him. He'd drop it to the side, and he could just zing it straight to wherever he wanted to do. And I used to remember thinking, "Oh my goodness, like your feet are incredible." But that's just the bog standard nowadays. Like nowadays, you have to be able to control it on your back foot, play out little intricate passes. Yeah, but I used to think Kelvin, when I used to play with him, honestly, strikers would be right there. He'd literally just drop it and just take one step back and just zing it and it'd go where he needs to get to.
Isn't it weird we don't see you know what I'm talking about? Like, holds it in his left
smash
hand.
it as high as he can go.
Yeah, and why don't we see that anymore? Bring that back this weekend. I bet there's goals from
I
it.
promise you, if Pep does that, gets Edison doing that, everyone will start doing that.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.